introduced me to you guys, so thanks to him as well. But as a quick introduction, I am Sam. I am the product specialist for a product called ProStudy, which is a research, organizing, and referencing tool with a centralized approach to research. So I'm going to be showing you this product today. As you might could have been able to tell by my accent, I'm from England in the UK. And we are actually coming over to ATIA in Orlando next week. So if anyone else is going that way, please come and see us at our stand. I've got treats, and it'd be great just to have a conversation with you guys. But if you can't make it, that's why we're here. So I'm going to give you a little short presentation of a few slides, and then we'll do a demo of the software so you can learn what this great product is all about. So I'll share my screen, and before we get into ProStudy, let me just go into here. So I assume you guys can see the start of the presentation. If anything happens, please let me know, and I'll work on any technical difficulties, but hopefully we should be okay. So, what is ProStudy? ProStudy is your dedicated research solution. It's a centralized approach to research, so allowing you to collect and categorize information from multiple sources. This involves quickly capturing information from web pages, textbooks, documents, PDF files, images, and many more. It's a tool that hopefully enables you to enhance your productivity and organization. Build a library of resources with links back to where you originally got them from. And it even shows you where in the page where you captured your information as well. Everything you collect with ProStudy can then be exported straight to Microsoft Word. And also, because this is quite often used in universities and colleges, you can export it with references that match your institution's referencing styles as well. ProStudy is almost a database where your material will get collected in. You can set multiple projects for each assignment. If you've got to write a report, start a project, do some research, then you can easily start these projects within your ProStudy database. This is a web app-based solution, so it's done through the Chrome browser. But we do also have a companion app as well, which is called Project Assist, and that allows you to collect and view your projects on your mobile phone, whether you're on Android or Apple. We also have a great feature called the Auto Tiles tool, which really helps in terms of trying to decipher paper or a large body of text and get the most important bits of information out. Projects can be done because it is a web app solution. It's not just tethered down to the student's laptop. You can log in at home, you can log in at a friend's house, and your projects will follow you around. Which I think in this these days, the way people learn, we still might have online lectures, we might have in person. It accounts for that kind of flexibility. So I just want to touch a little bit on who ProStudy is for. I'm sure once you see it, you'll probably think, oh, this is probably something I should have had when I was at college university. It's for everybody, but a few little ideas of who it can help. Students with neurodiverse conditions such as dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD, or autism, maybe kind of impact on your students' ability to kind of collect and categorize information. If they really struggle to organize their research, keep it somewhere where they can easily retrieve it. That's one of the aims ProStudy really wants to help achieve, and being able to have a nice centralized approach to your research. Research is quite an performing or starting research is quite an overwhelming experience. It's quite often due to having to write a large academic paper, an essay, a dissertation, a final year project, where there's a lot of pressure there to obviously get as many marks as you can so you can pass your course. So those who perhaps experience anxiety around those, might find comfort in a product like ProStudy where everything can be collected and easily seen. Anybody who perhaps has concentration or fatigue executive functioning, the ability to kind of categorize your information from an early stage really helps students kind of stay on their trail of thoughts, and means that you can kind of probably work for longer without having to take as many breaks or perform as well as you can during that time when you're best working. It's that kind of getting started, that blank page syndrome. I'm sure we can all remember that when we put an essay title of what we've got to do on a Word document, and we hope this is just going to, appear out of our minds. And that just isn't the collect lots of bits of information into a centralized approach. We've then got the building blocks to then form our written piece of work. So that's just a little insight what ProStudy is all about, but I think it's best just to kind of see it, create a project, and see how this program works. I notice there's a couple of little chat bits, so I'll just double check everything's on there. But we're all good. I think we're all good on that part. Right, so here is ProStudy. So you access ProStudy via the Chrome browser. It also works within Edge. You log in, and then you have an extension. Well, I've got my extension here. This is where I can see a few of the tools that we're going to look at, and also the projects in which I am working on. Here I have my main kind of ProStudy dashboard, which is where my research for this particular assignment is. This assignment's been broken down into categories, and all these kind of little sections you can see here, these are research tiles. So these are what I've been collecting, and we're going to have a go at that ourselves. So to start a research project, you use the plus sign here, and then you set your project name. So this could be the title of the essay, the title of the report. I'm with you guys at ATAC, so I'm just going to put ATAC project. And then once I've got that, just hit the tick. And then I can start adding my categories into here. So I can break the project into manageable chunks. I might have been given at school or university a brief that tells me what I need to, areas that I need to include research from. I could add those as the categories. I could make it logically and how the report forms. So in a real simple approach, it could be that I'm required to introduce my paper. So I need to write an introduction. And I can color code that. And then hit the tick and use the plus sign to get your next category. Maybe it needs a methodology. And maybe just at the end, it's conclusion. I'll keep it simple today. We'll just have 3 categories. But you can come into here, you can add more categories if you've kind of decided that you're going in a different direction. You can always come back and add plus to add more categories. You can change the order of your categories as well. You just pick them up, pull them above the one above, and the order will change. So you can do that as well, which is great. So once you've got your project set out, you're kind of ready to start researching with ProStudy, finding information that's useful to you. Because you now have the extension, I like to pin my favorite extensions to the top, and you can do that on Google Chrome just by adding the pin there. So here's the ProStudy one, and I can go on my list, and I can find the ATAC project there, and I can see the categories listed underneath as well, which is great, which means it's ready to start collecting. In fact, actually, I'm going to just change some options on my visible projects as well, just to show you an interesting feature. So you can choose whether you want to collect from all of your projects that you're working on or stay focused on the task in hand, which is one. So once you've done all those things, you are ready to start researching and finding information. So you could be reading online, find a paragraph that you perhaps want to use in your assignment. Maybe you're going to paraphrase it in your own words. Maybe you just want a quote to quote in your assignment. I'd like the whole of this section. And because I have ProStudy, I just have to right click and I can save that content to ProStudy. And as you can see, it lets me put it into any of the projects that I'm working on. So I can go to the ATAC project and I can put that in the introduction. And then so that's done that, ProStudy has then collected that information for me. Now, to make life easier for collecting, and I think this is quite good for maybe dyspraxic and ADHD students who might get distracted by the other projects, we change the visible project to just our ATAC project that we're working on. So we're not collecting from any of the other projects that I've got going. So let's just check into here. And we can start collecting. As you can see now, once I've got just the one project, I can right click, save that content, and then I can put that in just our ATAC project and any of the sections that want to go into there. Right. Let me just double check this is all refreshing and coming in. Might just be a slight issue at the moment, but I think it should be okay. Usually once the project's been collected, it should automatically, there we go. It's working, that's fine. So what happens when you collect something with ProStudy? You collect something with ProStudy just by staying on the page, and because you have the extension, you can choose what ProStudy does is it puts it into your project. It turns it into a research tile, which we have here. Now, if we didn't have any assistive technology, we might have to find something, copy it, paste it onto a Word document, and that's just a paragraph there. But my university requires that I need to reference this and cite this properly, so I need to go back, get the web address, go get the name, take note of the date and time. ProStudy does all that for me. So I just take the text, and as you can see, I've got the title, I've got the date and time. Obviously, that's what the time is for me here. If I go into info, you can actually see a full breakdown of all the information that ProStudy gets for you. So I can see it's got the author, we've got the content, we've got a link back to the source, we've got a preview of the reference there as well. So that takes a lot of steps out of the research process for a student because it's done that all for us by us just selecting the text. And it means we can do things like follow them and go back to the resource. So we can close tabs down and you can see it's highlighted exactly what I've taken there. So I can stay focused on the task in hand, which in this case is research. So I can go to another page and find some information, right click, save my content, put it into the exact part of my assignment that I want it to go into. If it's like an image, you can right click on an image. If you need that for your assignment, you can save that to ProStudy. And you can put that into a different category. If you come across perhaps a different resource like this, which is an online PDF, it's still opened up within Chrome. I can highlight, I can right click and still save this content ProStudy. And also things like inaccessible text. So Google Books, if someone's put a photocopy of a resource, can't select this text with the mouse, but we still have tools in ProStudy to collect this kind of research too. So you can use one of the tools built into the extension, which is the screenshot tool. And this will allow you to collect text like this. And it has, it'll still get, it'll say your title. You've got an image of the text, but we do have OCR capability built in. And that will turn that into accessible text. So now we can see that that is now typed up for us, which is great. And we can choose what category and what project we want that to go into as well. It's great. We can save that. So we can stay on the task at hand, which is trying to find research, all knowing that we can come back and we can refresh our project here, and any new additions will now get uploaded, added into ProStudy as we start collecting with the program. Sorry, it's just loading up a little bit. I think it gets to like rush hour internet time at 5 o'clock when everyone's finished work. There we go. And we can see that all those items I've been cutting are starting to appear in my project. My image is in there. My OCR text is in there as well. And they've all formulated into a nice centralized approach. So everything for this assignment is now starting to collect. So far we've looked at kind of collecting from the web, which is where obviously majority of our research might be. But if we've been emailed, handouts of information, downloaded files, we can collect from them as well. So we have the files button on the dashboard up here. So you just have to bring the files in that you want to collect from. So in this section, you can upload, and you can choose up to 10 files to load in at a time. You can do that as many times as you like. Choose our project, which is our ATAC project, and then choose our files. And this means once I've put these in, I can collect from if not slides, PDFs, Word documents, Excel, all of these. And once I've opened these in and click upload, they will now be along in my project. So if I find there is our ATAC project there, I've got an Excel file, a Word document, a PDF, a PowerPoint. If I want to, I can open these, and I can also download them anywhere once I log in with ProStudy. So that's a kind of a little bit of cloud storage there as well. And because it opens within the browser, any information I want to collect, I can just grab the same way as I did before. So it's quite easy for a student to pick this program because they just need to highlight what they want, right click, and then choose what project and what part of the project they want that information to go into. We can even do this with our phones as well. So I'll show you my phone screen here. Bear with me, I'm just going to bring this on. This is my phone. So I have the Project Assist app. So this is on Android and Apple, and it means that you can view your projects, see what you've collected, and you can even start new projects directly on your phone if you want to. So if you go to existing projects, you'll see a list of all of those projects that we've for. It does just need a little quick refresh. It doesn't auto sync about once an hour, but if you manually sync when you're doing live demonstrations, it just means that the latest project will be available for us to view. So now if I go back, and I can see them, we've got the ATAC project there, and there's our project, there's our categories, we can see the various bits of information we've been collecting so far. You can even click on the sources and you can go back to those web pages and view them. So great for when the student's perhaps commuting or they're just working away from the computer. And you even highlight exactly what you took as well. So you can see exactly what part of this web page you were collecting for your assignment. So it's a great way of viewing things on the go with the phone. But what you can do is you can collect. So I can use the web button or the camera. So with the web button, I can do a Google search, find a page, find some research that I want, highlight that with my finger, and then it comes up with a little capture button. And it creates a research tab, just like it does on the computer. And then that should be, or did I put it in the bottom one? There it is. It's in there. The other way is using the camera, which I think is pretty nifty. So again, if you've got a course that requires you to take some visual evidence of something. You've gone on a field trip, so you want to take some images of that. You're perhaps doing an experiment, and you want to, document the stages of that. Your photos are going into your project. It's centralized. You're not having to then email them to yourself, then download them, add them to your work. It's all coming together with that centralized approach that Procedy lets you do. So I can take a picture. I can just take a picture of my keyboard, click OK. And that will then just lets me save that image, and I can have that as part of my project. I can give it a nice clear name as well. It's not getting saved as a long code name like photos usually do on your phone. That's going in with my project. The other way is to use the camera is in the library, because what you can also do with this is if you've got some research in a book. I'm sorry, I know the phone is going a little bit slow here, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. So I've got a book and I'm on a page. I can take an image of that page. Maybe that's what I need for my research project. I need that information from that book. You can click OK. And just like we did before on the web when we had text that wasn't accessible to us, we can use OCR technology to have that typed up for us too. So you can click that button there, and that'll then turn that into accessible typed text, which is great. We also have a scan barcode button, which you can see at the top of my phone, and that allows me to get the reference and information of the book too. So I can click scan barcode, click on my camera, and then my phone becomes a barcode reader, flip the book over, scan that, and then that's connected to we have a resource library of 20 million books in there. And you can see it's got the title, the author, the publisher, the date, the book cover. So all that data could be attached to that information there to help with my research project. So the reference inside is going to be as accurate as possible. And then all that's left to do is just save that. And if I was to press the sync button at the top there now, that'll all be synced. So when I go back home, I can have that with the rest of my project. I haven't got time to show you all the features today. So we're going to come back over to ProStudy. And I want to show you one of the really useful features. Finding information that perhaps you're getting overwhelmed with, or if you're getting fatigued over. So this article here is about 5 key theories in psychology. There's a lot of text. If I'm a student who's doing a psychology paper, this may be for me. This might have the information I'm looking for. If I've got something like dyslexia, I might physical condition where I get fatigued for reading for long periods of time. If I read all this and then find out it's not what I need, then I'm going to have to take a break. Now, we have a tool built in the toolbar called the auto tiles feature. And what it does is it analyzes the page and breaks it down into managed quotes from the article. Any images it has, it brings to the top. So those images are part of the article. Anything it thinks is very useful, it highlights in blue already. And what a student can do is read these rather than reading the whole article and see if that's something that is going to be useful to them. So we can see here a collection of theories called grand theories are proposed and shaped by major thinkers such as Freud and Erikson. We can see here the 2 most common behavior theories are CBT and DBT. So I might be understanding what this is without having to read too much. And if I want these to be part of my project, I can leave them, or if I don't want them, I can untick them. And I can go through, and this is probably a bit more manageable for me to read. I might also have made the decision after looking at these that these might not be part of my assignments. This is not what I need to read. So you could close this all together and obviously go and find some other research. But if you want it as part of your project, you just have to click Save at the bottom. And I think that's a really useful tool for students. Sometimes people see, the auto tiles and they think, that was good. Do you know what? I'm going to actually read this myself and find the exact bits of information I would like going to be for my assignment and then save it to ProStudy that way, which we can do. I used to be an assistive technology trainer, and another issue that I used to see students do a lot was when they're in the middle of a research assignment, they would have a lot of tabs open, and that slows your computer down. People used to keep them open because it was hard to find that page and they didn't want to lose it because they knew it was important. Yes, we do have favorites in Chrome, but again, this is a centralized approach. So on the extension, again, I can bookmark my pages directly to the project that I'm working on. And what that does is it creates a nice reading list of the sources. And you just have to click the bookmark button and it will successfully save that page as a bookmark for you. I'll do one more. Actually, I think I've done that page already. We'll go here. And what this does is if we go back to the Pro Studies main page, you can go to the bookmark section and see that I've got a list now, a reading list of all the important tabs that I want. So close those down. And it also means if I'm working at home and then going to go work at the university on the computers there, I can log in and I can open up all the tabs that I was working on before as well, which is really handy. And we can refresh this to our project. Now, I know I'm getting a little bit close on the time, so I'm going to skip a few steps now and just show you one that I've made earlier. And there you go. You can see now my project has increased significantly with all of the extra additions that I've been adding in the other categories. You can organize these. You can tag them so you can have your favorites pinned to the top. Different sections. You can add comments to them as well to give yourself instructions of what to do once you've exported it. So you want to perhaps, this is part of the introduction, maybe use this quote in opening statement. And I've got an idea for that. Because what you can do with ProStudies, with your projects in ProStudy, is you can export them. And an exported project looks something a little bit like this one I've got here. Let's go to the top. So once you've exported it, you'll get your title. It will put everything into a contents table for you of your categories that you made. Then each category will have its research tiles in it. So it'll be color-coded to the color you chose. It will have the text. It will have a link back to the source. It will have its heading. You'll have your notes in the first paragraph of the assignment. If we go further down, you can even use navigation tools on Microsoft Word to navigate through the assignment. So you can go to your bookmark list, and you can see a list of all of your tabs that you've saved, which you can follow by holding Control. And then you also get a bibliography in your chosen referencing style as well. So from kind of the starting process to the completion process, ProStudy is kind of there to help you collect your information, organize it. You can even search the database because if you've been using this for the few years, the duration of your course, you might have research tiles that you use again and again. So you can type in keywords, and then it will show you what project that research tile was in. And if you click on it, it takes you to it. And you can even move that and copy it to any project as well. So it's a place that has all of your information without losing it in different files, different folders in your downloads, and helps you kind of get the framework which you need to kind of write your assignment. So that is essentially what ProStudy does. I hope that little taster was something that perhaps interests you. We have a our exclusive supplier currently in the US is School Health, which you can purchase this from. We have multiple different licensing options. So you can buy a yearly license, which I think is just for 1 year for one student. It's about $110. Then we have so you kind of get discount if you buy it for a longer period. But this is the kind of thing a student perhaps would want for the whole of their course at university or perhaps their final year of study. We also do licensing for universities, so the site licenses, all the way up to 10,000 copies for a whole institution, so everybody can use it, which we can price up on application, and just to give you an idea. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed seeing that. I'll just double check there wasn't another question at all. Tutorials included. So we've got product guides that come, so everybody can download those from our websites. We've got some videos that give overviews of the software as well from there. So that's what we have at the moment in terms of tutorials. Thanks for that question, Mary. But I'm happy to stay on for another 10 minutes or so, 15, however long we have there. So yes. If there's any questions at all, please let me know. I know it can take a little while to kind of type these things out as well, if you haven't got a mic to go for that. But we've got case studies and that as well. I am going to give Naomi some resources, so you've got the videos and some case studies there that you can read. Thank you very much, Anne. So yeah, just to reiterate the cost, so it can be purchased directly from School Health, and it starts off a single license for a single user for 1 year. It's around about $115. I can't quite remember the conversion on the top of my head. But we also there are savings to be made in terms of purchasing multiple licenses for your institution, or if you buy multi-year licenses as well. So I think it's about $270 for 3 years, and that's will be 3 years access to ProStudy and the Project Assist app as well. But if anyone has any questions or wants to meet one-to-one and see this kind of deeper level, then my email is sam@aventido.com. And by all means, get in touch with me and we can book some time together. If you work at a university, or if you perhaps perform assessments to these, we can do trial licenses for certain people as well. That is a possibility. Think I put it in the chat. Hopefully you guys did get that. Sent that out to everybody on there. And obviously you've got this video recording as well, so you can see another kind of overview of the software too. But awesome. And if anyone's from ATIA, please come and see us at Orlando. We're in the exhibition hall, so come find us.